Hey there, Maru fans! Look at this, I'm doing a crazy review over the Gothitropolis Ravens figures. Well, 4 of them anyways. These are the 4 that I chose to get. I chose to get the Kickstarter exclusive Minotaur duck, the pink flamingo, the rooster, and the griffin. These guys actually have names. Chose to get Griffus, Flamingus, Cockatrice, and the Kickstarter exclusive Minotaur the duck, which I've already talked about. So yeah, here's the packaging. This is the front. What's really cool about the packaging is that the backs are actually open. So you can pop the card out and pop the figure out, and you can put them back in if you want, obviously. But it's really cool that since so many people pumped a lot of money into these, including myself, you can take the figures out and put them back in. If you'd like to display them on your wall, you want to put them on your shelf, or you want to resell them later on, then you can without hindering any of the packaging, which is awesome and super smart. What's really cool here is I got Minotaur duck and Flamingus, because these two are freaking amazing. They're the only aquatic birds in the line, so obviously I had to grab those. For those of you who know me, I'm a big Aquaman fan, probably the biggest. These guys are supposed to have webbed feet. What they said in the Kickstarter was that the webbed feet would be packaged behind them. So I'm going to open these guys up for the first time, and let's see if they made good on their promise. So there you go, the feet are attached, and as you can see, they are anatomically correct, which is pretty impressive. The toes will point inward toward each other. If you don't believe me, you can Google that, but once you Google it, you'll be very impressed with my bird feet knowledge, apparently. But yeah, so they attach really nicely. They came popped right out, and so far the joints are really nice. Now, the 4 Horsemen did warn us in an email that some of the joints might break. You might have to use the boil and pop method, which is basically putting them in hot water. I personally don't like that method because it takes forever, but it's also safer. I generally use a heat gun, so I'm kind of being cavalier here and trying each joint out on camera for the first time, because as you guys know, I can fix things if they do break. I'd rather them not, but you can see that bicep swivel is stuck. Yeah, that bicep swivel right there is not going anywhere, so it's definitely stuck. The arms so far are good. Wrists are swiveling really nicely. You already see they're starting to be paint rub right there. So that's very disappointing. As much money as we pumped into this, the paint on the wrists does not seem to be holding. However, they were smart in molding the plastic in a similar color to what they painted. So at least whenever it does rub off, because it's going to rub off, I can already tell you that all of these are going to rub off. At least it won't be that noticeable. So let's go ahead and go through the articulation here. Each bird is going to have a neck swivel. Now the flamingo obviously has a bit of a longer neck, which is awesome because he's a flamingo. But so he's got a neck swivel. Looks like it's on a ball peg, much like a DCUC, but he's got a little bit more range than a DCUC, so that's really cool. The biceps here, so they go up and down. They're going to go front and back, which is really nice. These bicep swivels though are completely stuck, and look at that, boom. Alright, well there's one way to fix it. The plastic is so rubbery, which I actually kind of like. I know a lot of people don't like that because it makes the figures feel cheap, but Hasbro's been doing this a lot, and it's really smart because you're going to get less breakage in your figures. But as you can see, that popped off and popped right back on, and look at that, we got a swivel now. So that's fantastic, and I don't recommend that. Like I said, I can fix these figures if I'd like, but I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, this one's a little bit more rougher. This guy's stuck, but there you go. Sometimes you can bend it, but if you do that, you're risking bending the plastic, and then you're going to get a real loose fit. However, this popped right back, so that's nice. We've got an ab crunch. Looks like it, yeah, it goes down not too bad. Goes back just about as much as it goes forward. All of this stuff on his belt is awesome. Everything's painted Everything's dry brushed, painted, washed. It looks really pretty. I wish these were removable, but I'm not going to be that picky, especially this bugle here. But I bet that could be modded easily to be pulled off. Let's see if this... You guys are kind of watching this as I do it, so... looks like the belt is fastened completely. It's probably super glued on or cemented on. Either way, I believe every bird has the exact same belt. But let's go down to the legs. Yeah, look at that. It's got like an old standard Toy Biz kind of joint. So that's pretty cool. But they're really hidden well with the feathers and sculpt. I'm kind of being careful with this because leg joints are really hard to fix if you break them. Yeah, it looks like it swivels right at the crotch area, and it looks as though, see, now that one's going to be tough. That's one I wouldn't risk. It's supposed to swivel as well right here at the thigh, and it is not swiveling as I'd want it to. Like I said, they did put out an email which seemed to be like a preemptive, hey, the paint's gonna stick and we're trying to get it out to you as fast as possible, but really be careful. I would strongly suggest heating this up first and getting a pick or a flathead screwdriver and going in and definitely loosening this up, because that paint is stuck, and if you try to twist this without heating it up, you're gonna break it. But if you do end up breaking any of these figures, you can go to www.billmaru.com. You can find the link right here at the bottom, and he will gladly fix these for you. So the back of the legs are really cool. These are very bird-like, obviously, and they bend backwards instead of forwards like a human, because, you know, they're birds. This is really, really cool. I mean, that's a lot of range. And then move forward, you can get quite a bit of articulation and reach out of this due to the rubber loincloth that they've sculpted, which is amazing because it's sculpted in two pieces. Got a nice waist swivel here, and then of course the legs go side to side and bend forward like that. As far as weapons go, I believe all four of mine come with this same weapon here, and it's basically comes in two parts. It's a little mace end at the bottom, and at the top there's a little spike pike, and I believe this is because they have add-ons that you could have purchased and you can add different types of weapons, so it just kind of sticks on the end. And like I said, with the rubber, like the softer plastic that they used, you can just pop this in without worrying about breaking any hands. So each figure comes with these open clawed feet, which are really cool. Could be used for grabbing, fighting, whatnot, especially for the rooster, you know, for you guys who are into illegal activities. And here they've got the closed feet, which would work great on a perch. These are fantastic feet. I mean, the sculpt, the dry brushing on everything, it's really, really nice. Unfortunately, like I said, every time you're gonna, I mean, this is, oof. I'm pushing it by doing that. That's really stupid. Do not try to force these things. I would strongly suggest heating them all up. But immediately, as soon as I push it, you can see that this was not painted all the way through. I'm assuming this is going to show up on the camera. But you can see the difference, how it's darker here and lighter there. And that was not even close to painted. And if it was, it just completely rubbed off right away. So here is the Kickstarter exclusive Minotaur the Duck, and I do not regret buying this guy at all. He is so cool. What's crazy is actually none of his joints were stuck, so that's interesting. Like I said, same belt as before, same body sculpt as before. He also comes with the exclusive webbed feet because he is an aquatic animal. He comes with a gunmetal colored spear, unlike Flamingus, who has a gold one. The helmet is non-removable. One thing I didn't mention before in Flamingus's, when I was looking at him, was that these wings on the back are actually removable, but the paint is really, really thick. It's so thick that you can see that they just move back. They're like really rubbery. These are supposed to be removable, and I actually have a pair of white wings and pink wings coming, but I do have a pair of brown wings, and I'm going to show those off to you with the rooster and the griffin. But I just had to show off Minotaur because he's a Kickstarter exclusive, so if you didn't get him through Kickstarter, you are not going to get this guy unless you pay probably a ton of money, because Four Horsemen, their products tend to appreciate in value. So if you didn't get this guy, that really sucks, because he is incredible. Alright, so here we have Cockatrice, and I've already got one of the wings out, which if you take these wings out, pull them from the top. Do not pull them from the bottom, as you will start to stress the plastic and possibly rip it. So this is going to look a lot easier because I've already loosened this, but you just pull it out, and you can see the peg is pretty long. So be very careful when pulling that out. I have a set of the brown wings, which they have articulation up and down, and then they've got a cool little swivel right in here, and that'll plug right in. You can see on my finger that the plastic or the paint is already coming off these wings, so there's no point in even trying to keep that stuff together. It's just going to come right off. But luckily, like I said, the plastic is cast in a color that resembles the actual base body, so at least we've got that. So that is beautiful. And once down, I mean, these can go literally any way you want them to go. They can go back if you want to get them in some kind of cool flying position. They're very stiff, so I'd be careful as well at the base of these. But these look fantastic. This seems to be falling down like fairly easy. So there's that. You might be able to put a little super glue on the edge, but I'd be very careful with that. It's probably risky. I'm trying to see if this comes off. It does, look at that. I don't know if that's supposed to come off, but it's so rubbery that it actually does. So that's really cool if you want to have, oh, look at that. It's actually got a piece, looks like a piece for a chain. If you can see that, look at that. That's pretty cool. So I guess you could make a chain mace out of it if you want. I'm not sure what all the other exclusive pieces or what you could order, but that's open for customization at least. So here we have Griffon, and this guy definitely holds the title for my favorite color scheme of armor. It is just awesome. It's got the green, the gold, and the red sash. He's a beautiful looking figure. It's amazing how much a different paint job can really change the figure, but not to mention he's a freaking griffin. These are amazing. I love the different head sculpts. The different head sculpts, which, you know, Four Horsemen are famous for, just amazing head sculpts. I mean, their sculpts are great all around, but they can really make a figure unique by just changing up the head sculpt. And what they did with these Gothitropolis Ravens figures is absolutely amazing. Like, each one has a different personality. The faces are fantastic. The removable wings and whatnot. I don't know if they have golden wings for order, which is just killing me that I didn't get golden wings now, because I realized, I thought that, yeah, you can see how those kind of stick. Ugh. Look at, I mean, this is just terrifying to try and, wow, it was really in there, but it's good. We're good. So yeah, I bought brown wings to go with Cockatrice, and I thought they'd work with the Griffon as well, which I think they honestly do. Let's take a look and see what they look like on him. That looks fantastic. God, I wish they were gold, but that is really cool looking. I mean, he is just amazing. Griffon was my base figure to buy on the Kickstarter program, and then I added Minotaur, Flamingus, and Cockatrice. So these are really cool. So there you have it. Those are my top 4 of the Gothitropolis Ravens figures, as those are the ones I pre-ordered. Those are probably the ones I'm going to stick with. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have all 12, but that's a lot of money. So I'm really happy with the 4 I've chosen. These are definitely my favorites out of the pack. I love the bird designs. I love the colors of them all, and I love the articulation. I wish the QC was just a little more on point. We waited over a year for these. We could have waited just a tad bit longer to make sure they were all fixed. These guys didn't give us a tracking number, and they also didn't give us a shipping notification, which was very disappointing. I mean, these are like $33 a figure plus shipping, so I mean, guys, just be watching your doorsteps. But at least they got to me safely. I hope they get to all of you guys safely as well. Also, you'll notice right here that Cockatrice is holding his he's almost about to fall, his spear with his feet. In order to do that, make sure you take the tip off of the spear first, so it slides right in and you can pop it right back on, which is, I'm pretty sure, why they did that, among other reasons. But I hope you guys like this little review. Basically, this is more about a warning of the QC issues, but I was just so excited to get these in, I had to show them off. I really want to see everybody else's videos. Feel free to comment, ask me any questions, and I'd be more than happy to answer them or help you guys out with anything you need. Remember, www.billmaru.com. I'll fix yo figures. That was really stupid.